name is Rex Elliot. I am a small law firm practitioner in Columbus, Ohio, and I've been asked to speak about, the concepts of forming and maintaining a successful small law practice. Let me begin by telling you all that opening my own law firm is easily the most satisfying thing I've done in my career. Let me take you a step back here and just give you a little sense of my background. I graduated from the Syracuse University College of Law in 1988, and from there I went to practice for pretty close to a decade with large law firms on the defense side. I first began my career with the New York City Wall Street law firm of Sullivan and Cromwell. I was there for 3 years, where I practiced in the litigation group and did a fair amount of high-profile lawsuits on the defense side, represented the National Football League, Bank of New York, Goldman Sachs, and some very significant clients while at Sullivan and Cromwell. In 1991, I returned to my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, and I joined Porter, Wright, Morris & Arthur, which is the largest defense law firm here in Columbus, and I was with Porter, Wright until approximately late 1994, when I began discussions with a colleague of mine, Chip Cooper, about beginning our own small law practice. And in 1995, we opened the law firm of Cooper and Elliot here in Columbus. We are a litigation law firm that focuses largely on plaintiffs' litigation, complex civil litigation ranging anywhere from wrongful death, business litigation, employment litigation. The hallmark of our cases are that they are largely multi-million-dollar disputes, complex civil litigation matters, and we've been open since 1995. And since that time, we have worked very hard to maintain the small size of our firm. We like it that way. We've got 4 other lawyers that work for us, and it's been a fantastic ride. So what I'd like to do is give you my experience on how we got off the ground in 1995 and how we have been able to maintain the practice that we've had consistently for the last 16 years. And the first point that I try to highlight here is, for me, the most important step in starting my own law firm was identifying a tremendous and very trusted partner. I would not recommend opening a law firm practice by yourself for a number of different reasons. The most important reason to me is that I have always found it important to be able to collaborate with colleagues. I think that I'm a pretty good lawyer on my own, but I think I'm a lot better lawyer when I'm surrounded by other people that have very strong legal minds as well. My partner, Chip Cooper, is one of my best friends in the world. I trust him as much as anybody I trust. He is sort of the opposite of me in the courtroom, but we try all our cases together, and that is a critically important step to hopefully associate yourself with somebody that you trust, somebody that you respect, and somebody that can contribute to the success of your law firm as much or close to as much as you can. At the outset of opening your law firm, I think it's critically important to focus on the importance of cash flow while you are developing your client base and your pipeline is being filled with cases or clients, depending on what your practice area is. I highly recommend not going out and signing 10-year leases on flashy office space or taking out large lines of credit. To the extent that you can do it with a small line of credit, I would highly recommend that you don't leverage yourself too much in the early times. We opened our law firm in 1995 with a $100,000 line of credit, and one of the mistakes that we've made along the way is that my view is that you're going to use how much ever the bank gives you, and in fact, with our $100,000 line of credit, we very quickly tapped it out, and within about 3 months, we were out of money and needed to rely on clients paying bills to get by. If I were to go back to 1995 and do it all over again, I would have been much more frugal with the funds that we spent at the outset of the firm, because cash flow is critical to not only getting off the ground, but also sustaining yourself over a period of time. I would also recommend before you open your doors that you identify what clients and potential clients that you may have. We, Chip Cooper and I, when we left Porter Wright Morrison Arthur, we did not take any clients with us. We felt that it was important to make sure that the break was clean and that nobody was upset by the fact that we were taking client files out of the firm. So we didn't do that. However, we did identify a number of clients that were not Porter Wright clients that we felt would be great clients for our law firm. As soon as we left Porter Wright, we immediately approached those clients and were able to develop some very quick client relationships, which, again, is critical to the success of your firm. We also created a business plan even before we opened on day one, and the business plan really focused on a number of different areas, not just what our practice areas were going to be, but also who our not only potential clients were, but who we were going to target as our client base. I think we each came up with about 100 clients and literally incorporated them into our business plan, and then began contacting those businesses and those individuals in order to develop the foundation for our client base. That is really critical, that at the outside you don't just open the doors and begin practicing law. The clients aren't going to come to you. You're going to have to go out to them, particularly in the early days when nobody really understands, who you are. So preparing to open your law firm, identifying who your potential clients are going to be, critically important first step, maybe even before you open your doors. Another very important step before you open your doors is to identify who you are and what you're going to do. We have found it that you need to have a marketing message that is very clear. You can't open your doors and just tell everybody that you're willing to do anything that comes in the door. You have to decide before then what your practice area is going to be. In our situation, we determined that we were going to be complex civil litigators. That was going to be our firm. We weren't going to do estate work. We weren't going to do any other, business or general corporate matters. We were going to stick to litigation. We also determined that we were not just going to do plaintiff's litigation, but we were going to do a little defense litigation as well. But we had to make sure that it didn't conflict with the plaintiff's cases that we were taking. So what we did, our marketing message was that we would represent individuals and small businesses, because small businesses are usually many times on the wrong end of acts of injustice as well, just like individuals are. So we felt that marketing message representing small businesses and individuals was very consistent. And the good thing that it did is that when we represented small businesses, even on the defense side, this was largely hourly work. So the hourly work would pay our bills, our monthly bills, while our plaintiff's work we typically did on a contingency fee basis and gave us the opportunity to really earn the kind of income we were looking to do at the outset of the practice. So identify who you are at the outset and make it clear to everybody what you're going to do. And then play to your strengths. It may be difficult to turn away business that isn't right smack in the middle of your wheelhouse, but understand that if you take that business on, you are going to dilute your marketing message. So it's very important at the outset, and actually throughout the maintenance of your law firm, to have a clear marketing message that doesn't get diluted by some of the things that you're doing out there. I would also not only develop a client list and a potential client list, not just of people that are going to come to you for help, whatever your practice area is, but I would, at the outset, develop a referral network. In other words, other lawyers and maybe even people outside the legal profession that can serve as individuals that will refer work your way. So, for instance, if you are a personal injury lawyer, you may want to think about developing a network with estate and probate lawyers. These are sometimes the lawyers, when somebody gets in an accident or gets hurt, these are the lawyers that the initial approach is made to. And it's very important then to reach out to these people, let them know what you do, and develop a relationship whereby they would be willing to refer cases on to you. I have also found that referrals can be very effective outside the legal area. You will find in opening your doors that particularly people that have started their own businesses, they will take it upon themselves to help you out because they want to see other entrepreneurs succeed as well. So don't just limit your referral network to lawyers. Go outside the legal profession to find folks in the business community, in your at your church, in your kids on your kids' soccer teams, at the in your homeowners associations. People that know who you are, know what you're doing, and can serve as referrals for you. Make it crystal clear to your referral network what you do and who you are, going back to the clear marketing message that I mentioned earlier. One word of wisdom, though, on the issue of referrals. You will need to check your own state ethical laws on what types of referral fees are allowed. In the state of Ohio now, used to be we could pay a referral fee simply for referring a case over. Now the referral fee has to be commensurate with the amount of work the referring lawyer is doing on the matter. So it might not be that way in other cases, but it's very important to make sure that you're on top of what the ethical rules are. Okay, so once you get your law firm opened, after you decide are you going to be an LLC or a partnership, you have identified your partner, you have selected office space, you have created a business plan, you have reached out to clients and potential clients, and you have developed your referral network, and you also have found a funding source, either a line of credit or some type of loan, money in the bank that can get you rolling for the first few months. You need to start thinking about not just opening your law firm, but you're sustaining your law firm over a long period of time. And this requires lawyers to think like business people. Too many times we think we're lawyers and we don't think that it's important to have business hats on as well. We have found, I'm going to give you a number of different recommendations that we have found very useful in maintaining the flow of business that comes into the law firm. Number one, in this day and age, it is critically important to have a website presence. Now, at the outset of your firm, you may not be able to spend a lot of money for a great website, but it's important to have a website footprint anyway. It is also highly important for you to social network as well. You may get a ton of business through Facebook, LinkedIn, those types of sites, and it's important for you to be there. Additionally, you may want to consider weekly marketing materials. Now, I'm not talking about a weekly marketing letter, but I have found that it's useful to make weekly marketing objectives, goals for yourself, and stick to them. For instance, when I began my firm, in the first couple years, I had a goal of making 10 marketing calls a week, and I stuck to it. I would either call people or write people and make sure that they understood who we are, what we were doing in an effort to develop that pipeline. Very important now that we are in a day of email age. When I started in 1995, not so much, but now you can easily send out bulk emails on a weekly basis to make sure that the marketplace knows what you're doing. I would also engage in both legal and non-legal activities. Think about what organizations will be important for the development of your business. If you are a personal injury lawyer, it may be important to join personal injury associations, but understand you're probably not going to get referrals from the lawyers in those organizations. I have been a member of organizations that are completely unrelated to the law, and I have found those organizations to be the best sources of referrals over the course of the last 16 years. So identify those organizations, community organizations, business organizations, become involved in them. It will increase your network and in turn increase the flow of business in your firm. We also felt at the outset that it was important for us, since we were not going to advertise, to draw media attention. So we took on cases that were high profile and would be reported in the media, and that helped get our name out as well. And then I go back to what I said earlier. As you're doing these marketing activities designed to increase the flow of business into your firm, make absolutely certain that your marketing message is clear. Make certain that the market knows who you are and what you do. Do everything you can not to dilute that message. Another area that's very important once you get your legs under you and your law firm open is to make sure that you are smart about your hiring and about who you affiliate with. And this includes clients. There may be times that clients come to you and they're just not good people. They may be offering you a lot of money to represent them. Sometimes it takes a lot of courage to indicate that it's just not a good match. I would strive very hard, both in your hiring relationships and who you're affiliating with, to make sure that you're affiliating with good, solid people, people that also have a network of trusted and respected people in the community. The more people you affiliate like that, the larger your network will grow as well. And that applies internally to your firm too. Make sure you are hiring the best, and you have to be prepared to pay to hire the best. What you have to understand in the small law firm context is that if you want somebody good in there, you're going to have to pay for them. Understand that if you don't pay to get somebody good into your firm, you truly are going to get what you pay for, and you will spend more time managing a substandard lawyer simply because you haven't been willing to pay a little bit more money than you will if you get somebody in who's respected in the community, who you can trust to do the work, and who can effectively represent your clients. And again, I would indicate to you that this applies equally important with your secretarial staff and your administrative staff. They can be very good marketers for you. I talk to the people in our law firm all the time about how I believe every conversation out in the community, whether it's from me, my office manager, our legal secretaries, paralegals, or lawyers, every conversation out there is potentially a marketing conversation. And so all of your employees need to understand the marketing message, who you are and what you do. Additionally, very important, once you get all the formalities in place, you have your office space, you have your staff, you've got your business plan, you're marketing away, you must pay attention to your pipeline. You must pay attention not just to the work that has come in over the course of the last month, but how much work you anticipate over the course of the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, and I even go out to an entire year to make sure that I'm looking far enough ahead. The last thing you want to do is have a few really good, successful years and then understand that your pipeline is completely dried up, and that could be the quickest way out of business, or at least force you back to square one, which you don't want to do. As you fill your pipeline, recognize that you are not a big law firm, and what you can do is come up with creative billing arrangements with your clients. There were some clients early on that I would have preferred to take on a straight contingency fee, but we needed to have some bills paid. So what I did is we had creative billing arrangements where there was a blend of hourly fee-paying work and a blend of contingency fee-paying work. And as I mentioned before, we had enough defense work in, a small percentage of the work, but it helped us pay the bills. So think about those types of things. And again, what I do at the end of every single month is I review the pipeline. And when I say the pipeline, meaning what work can I expect to be coming in over the course of the next month, 3 months, 6 months, and year, so that I'm always planning for the future. These are some of the tips that I think that will enable you to not only open, but to maintain a successful small law firm. Do all of these things that I've mentioned, do them well, and I believe that you will have a high probability of being successful and being successful for a very long period of time. There will be people that go out of their way to help you. Embrace these efforts and return the favor when you can. Understand that if somebody helps you, make certain that they know it's a two-way street. Make sure each client that you have and each business relationship, each referral relationship that you have, understands that they are your priority. Make them feel that they are the most important piece of business in your office, and above all, never accept failure as an option. Not every client is going to agree to hire you as a lawyer. Not every case that you take on is going to end up in a successful situation, but understand that these things happen, and do not let the failure in a small percentage of the cases dictate where your law firm goes. Understand that this is something that may and could happen. Understand that your clients need to understand that you can't guarantee outcomes. And in the unfortunate circumstance when you don't have a successful outcome, make certain that the client knows that you have done everything in your power to serve them. Now, finally, what I'd say to you is that starting and maintaining your own law practice is not an easy thing to do. But I can assure you that if you follow some of the things that I've outlined today, that it can be among the most enriching experiences of your professional life. I hope that this will help some of you as you look to opening your own small law firm practice. And if you do, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope your journey as a small law firm practitioner is as rewarding as my journey has been. Thank you very much.